Good morning, Kinders. Happy Monday, May 4th. So our date has changed. We need to be attentive. Instead of a 4 at the beginning, it's now 5 because we're in the 5th month. January, February, March, April, May. Okay, so today would be 5-4-20. And our weeks are going to start looking a little different. We're getting closer to the end of the school year. So from here on out, things are going to change. This week we will do our normal morning jobs on Monday and Wednesday and Thursday. And then Tuesday and Friday, we'll read a fairy tale and do some projects with that. And boys, don't worry, there's some cool stuff in these fairy tales too. It's not all princesses and love. Girls, there are princesses. All right, let's get started with your 6 tasks for today. First off is handwriting. You got your name at the top, and then these sentences. May is the month of Mary. So we actually celebrate Mary 2 months, May and October. May is one of them. So you write that once in print, then the same thing in cursive. May is the month of Mary. And we practice these words, is, the, and of. Remember, you can go next to me or underneath. Write as beautifully as you can and then come back and practice. I bet you have is down, and the of's a tricky guy. So there's one for you to practice today. That's your first job. Second, we have the unk family. Okay, this one's tricky. It's U-N-K, unk. Okay, so we're gonna write our words as nicely as we can. This one's bunk, chunk, dunk, drunk, hunk, junk, skunk, stunk, sunk, and trunk. So we're going to nicely write our words and color U-N-K. Then we come down here. I bet some of you can start to read these sentences. Like here it says, look at all this junk. So you'd color it and then circle junk. I cannot see your bunk. Color it, circle bunk, okay? Then the last two. Now, down here, I'm going to help you do 1 through 6, and then it will be time to cut and glue, okay? Number 1 says, another word for a chest. Okay, this doesn't mean this part of your body. It means a place, like a treasure chest. And that is a trunk. So number 1 should say trunk. 1 is trunk, okay? Number 2, so that was this one. Now we're on number 2, says another name for a bed. That's a bunk, okay? So number 2 is bunk, trunk, and bunk. Here it is. We just did the first 2. Now we're going to number 3. Number 3 says score a basket. And one way to score is to get the hoop, your arm up on the top of the hoop, and that's a dunk. So be really careful on this one that you have the B going the right way and the D going the right way. Okay? Bunk and dunk. Number 4 says not floating. If you are not floating, you are sunk. Okay? Sunk. There's sunk. Now number 5 says a pile of stuff. We call it a bunch of junk. 5 is junk. And then number 6 is a big piece. And you can actually use 2 different ones. You can say a chunk or a hunk, okay? Chunk. I'm going to use chunk. So there are your 6 words that go on these 6 lines right here. Okay? There they are. Then you will cut and glue. They are in the correct order today. So you cut and you look for bunk first, okay? Left to right, top to bottom. That's your second job, your unk page. Your third job, we are all going to get to do something that I need practice at as well, and that is drawing a horse. And here's why. This week in assembly, you're going to hear about this man named Alexander the Great. He learned from Aristotle. He ended up conquering the world that included Greece, okay? And because of that, then it leads to the Roman Empire and then the Catholic Church. And so he's setting the stage for God's plan. Now, when he was a young man, he was being trained to be the king. So he was the prince. His dad was the king. He was trained to do all the kingly things, fighting, and he learned well at school from Aristotle, okay? But he was also quite brave, and here's what happened. Here's a picture from a book. Just want to make sure you can see that. Okay. And his father was given this horse named Bucephalus, and Bucephalus was wild. And all the men of the kingdom kept trying to tame Bucephalus, and he wouldn't listen. And finally, Alexander came up and he said, "Father, let me try." And so Alexander took Bucephalus, and he had been watching very carefully, and he noticed that the horse was afraid. And so he turned him around so he was facing the sun, so his shadow would be behind him, and he wouldn't be frightened anymore, and he was able to tame Bucephalus, and then Bucephalus actually became his very own horse. So today we are going to go into our black books and write that Alexander mastered Bucephalus, okay? So here is my black book. I've got my line and that one sentence. Alexander mastered Bucephalus. Okay? And then I'm going to draw a horse. Now you follow along with me. We're both learning this. You know this is not my best. Okay, so I'm going to draw one oval here. See that? And then I'm going to kind of give him a neck. Like that. And then I'm going to draw another oval for his body here. Okay, and then we've got his legs coming out. I didn't really leave enough room for a leg, but that's okay. Okay, so there's that. Kind of made him short and stubby because I didn't leave enough room. Got his back legs on there. I'm going to have his tail flying out. A lot of swirly, swishy lines, okay? And then he's rearing up because he's wild. So I'm gonna kind of do his front feet in the shape of L's. Okay, so there is his body. If you think yours is a little chubby like mine, that's okay. You can always thin him out, okay? Get his ears on there, get his mane flying. Okay. Yeah, mine's definitely a little chubby. All right, so there's Bucephalus. You can draw Alexander with him or just the horse. Completely up to you. Remember, Alexander would be dressed in the style of the Greeks. So similarly, he'd have on something like a chiton and maybe a cape because he's the prince, okay? So I'm gonna have him just over here trying to calm Bucephalus down. And he goes off to war actually with Bucephalus eventually. So maybe he's got his hands up like, stop. Okay, there I've started Alexander. And some short hair, he's not an old guy yet. Okay, all right. And then you can color that in and you've got Alexander mastered Bucephalus, okay? Then you will do some reading. That's job 4. Then you have 2 math jobs today. One is just seeing if you're paying attention to your numbers. So this is before and after. Usually we do this on the whiteboard at school all in a group and take turns, but today you get to do all of them by yourself. So you would look at the number 15 and you'd think, what comes before 15? Think about counting. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 14, 15, 16, okay? Now, I gave you 10 of these, okay? If this exhausts your math brain today, you don't have to go on to the last thing. Parents, just check in on them. Some of them might breeze through this. Some of them, this might need a lot of guidance with 10s and 1s and paying attention, and it might be enough to just do this today. So just watch what they're doing and feel free to skip activity 6 if 5 is plenty today. Okay, so you're filling out all of these. Now, if you get to this, you can look at this and say, oh, 4 10s and 2 1s. Before that, I know it's 4 10s and 1 1, and after would be 4 10s and 3 1. So it's just a 4 at the start, and then it goes 1, 2, 3. Okay? So you can look at this chart to help you if you need to as well. Okay, I included it again in case you didn't save it. Forgot to tell you to save it last week. So it's there if you need it. You also get to use this for your last activity if you want to and have time. So this is ordering numbers again. Okay? So first, we're going to change it up a little bit today. I'm going to pick, without looking, 3 numbers. I picked 45. 32, one more number. If you want to challenge yourself, you could do 4 numbers in a row, but I'll just do 3. Okay, and then before I put them in order, I'm going to draw. So 45 has 4 10s and 5 1s. See that? Okay, 32 has 3 10s and 2 1s. And 8 has 8 1s. He doesn't have a 10 in front of him. Okay, now looking at the pictures should help me because I know these 10s are worth more than anything else. So we're gonna know he's the smallest. He doesn't have any 10s. So it would go 8. Cross him out. Who's left? Oh yeah, that's it. Okay. He only has 3. He has 4, so he's the next smallest, 32. And then 45. Okay? Now remember, you can do 4 numbers in a row. That's a little trickier. You can do that. And I'd like you to try that 5 times with 5 different sets of numbers. Okay? So those are your tasks for today. Quick recap: handwriting, your Unk family, Alexander and his horse Bucephalus, reading, ordering numbers, and then if there's, oh, sorry, not ordering, before and after, and then if there's time, ordering numbers. Okay? That's it for today. I love you. God bless you. I'll see you tomorrow.